Ladies and gentlemen, this story does feature two teenagers technically, but they're 19 years old. They're grown. They're parents. They're grown. These are not kids. This is a little bit different than most stories that I do. Because like I said, usually when a person has that teen suffix at the end of their age, I generally won't talk about those stories because they kind of seem like kids. I generally will move past those stories. Not this damn time. Nope. And let me give a shout out to my friend, my advocate, a very, very good friend of mine, and we share information back and forth, Illicit Deeds. Please make sure you guys check out Illicit Deeds on Facebook and illicitdeeds.com. Illicit Deeds puts out a ton of stories and dedicates so much of her time to stories just like this. Okay? And I thank her for sharing this story, and I do got to talk about this for a lot of different reasons, because one of the things that I said, now I was talking about men when I said this, but you can apply this to women as well, even though the circumstances are a little bit different. But I think that men from the age of being grown up until the age of 25 don't have anything to offer besides their sexual exploits. All men under the age of 25 are good for is sex. That is it. Not being fathers, not being providers, none of that. Not all, but too many of them. I don't understand, and I don't know why they're smaller than their mugshot. That's beyond me. I'll back that up so y'all can see that again. No, you're not seeing things. There was a grin in there for sure. But now maybe I can also apply this to women, even though I know that the gestation period for women is quite a bit different than men. Men can have babies literally until they die. Like there is no time limit for the length of time that men can have babies, but there is for women. So I think that time frame is way more precious because they literally have a time frame from the time that they're grown up until they're about 35, 37, and then they become high risk. But that doesn't mean that you need to start having children before you can freaking take care of your goddamn self. I haven't even got to the story yet. To me, you are not ready to be a parent if you are not able to take care of yourself. You have no life insurance. You have no job credibility. You have no credit built up. You're living in apartments, barely can pay your rent, living check to check. Why are we having kids? You barely learned to clean your own ass. Why are we having kids this freaking early at age 19? But wait, we're not even talking about just one kid. Let's talk about being responsible. I hadn't even got to the story yet. In this story, this idiot that you see smiling in her, that is a mug shot. Just to let you guys know. Shakayla not only is 19 years old, but Shakayla, from what I understand in this story, is the mother of more than one child. And I get pissed off. And the reason why I get pissed off is because I can relate to the black experience. I am black. I was once their age. I am a parent currently. I remember vividly what it was like to be age 19 because that was the age I just moved out of my mom and dad's house. So yes, I remember this time frame very vividly. But I can tell you one thing that I was definitely not trying to do, be a freaking parent at that age. No freaking way. I'm going to say some things, and I probably already have, that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. This story is going to have some details that are probably going to upset you. That is your official disclaimer if you need to exit the video, because we're going to keep it real right here and right now. A young Ohio takes another L. Of course, that's where Cuyahoga County is, one of the worst counties on planet Earth, if you ask my personal opinion. But Ohio just seems to continue to produce these horrific stories of child abuse. In my opinion, it's one of the worst states for child abuse stories that I've heard, okay? But nonetheless, they're out of Ohio and they're accused of murdering the woman's infant son. Shakayla Sams, let me see if I can get back to her picture here real quick. Beautiful little baby, by the way. Let me get their pictures up here. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Very dumb. Shakayla Sams is 19 years old and Dante Ferrier is 19 years old. Currently locked up in Hamilton County Jail, online records show. And I'm getting this from lawandcrime.com, so thank you for the article. The chief investigator for the local coroner's office identified the child. And let me see if I can get that baby up on my screen. Look at him. Y'all look at this little prince. For the life of me, I guess it's not meant for me to understand what goes through a person's mind. How you can look at a face this small, this innocent, this amazing, as far as their potential, so delicate. And you could be so reckless, so careless, so heartless, so devilish, so dumb. I know toddlers that understand the value of life. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I've actually watched toddlers, and the mom and the family, husband and wife, will bring the new baby home and put the baby, a little bitty baby, in a toddler's arms, swaddled up, and the toddler would just sit there and just look in awe of their little sibling. This is not an age thing. That's what I'm saying. If a toddler understands the value of a baby and of children, then you're talking about not only teenagers, but these are adults. These are just human beings who are just flat out stupid. There is no excuse for this. There is nobody that can tell me that either one of these two individuals were ever good people. They've always been horrible people their entire life. To make this egregious of an error, to be this callous at this age, I just think that some people, they've run their course in life and this just needs to be the end for them. Life in prison sounds pretty good to me. I don't think there's any hope of retribution for them. Let me tell you why. That baby is 5 months old and the name is Casey, C-A-S-E-Y, Sams, S-A-M-S. So you guys can look that up. According to the Cincinnati Police Department, officers responded to a report on Wednesday of an unresponsive baby boy on the 2300 block of Sunny Hill Drive. Firefighters took him to a hospital, and upon arrival, responding officers located the male infant unresponsive. Cincinnati Fire Department personnel responded and transported the infant to Cincinnati Children's Medical Center. The boy actually survived until Monday when he succeeded to his injuries. He almost survived. That is so heartbreaking. That was a strong baby, especially when y'all hear about the damage that these two fools did to this kid. Sams and Ferrier were already facing an endangering children case. Let me say that again. These children were already in danger, and I did say children plural. We'll get there. They were already facing a case of endangering children. The autopsy is pending, Hamilton County Coroner's Office Chief Investigator Justin Weber told Law and Crime over the phone. Authorities do not have a cause and manner of death, he said. But I think I can say this. I don't think it's in this article. So let me tell y'all. This child had crushed, broken ribs, and the ribs were actually in different stages of healing, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it also had a fractured neck. I could be wrong. I'll delete that part out of the video. If I'm wrong about that, I'll go back and research it. but I did read something somewhere, but I'm not sure if that's correct here. So that's a disclaimer. I'm just sad, said neighbor Denise George. I'm sad that the little baby had to go through that, what he was going through right now. Anybody in a domestic violence situation, you need to reach out and get help. They have too many resources and stuff like this to happen every day. The couple reportedly shared at least one child, though it was unclear how Ferrier was linked to Casey. Both kids sustained injuries over months, dating back to June 22nd, according to documents obtained by the outlet. Multiple children. And here's what I want to talk about as far as the disgusting nature of how we bring children into this world. This alleged mother, smiling in her mugshot, not only had one child that was murdered, but she's the mother of a second child, and this father, alleged father, this man right here is only the father of one of the two children. Two baby daddies at 19 is just effing stupid. I'll get back to those screenshots here in a minute. Let me give you guys the fair usage. There's a lot to talk about here. We'll get back to it. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, thank you very much. And by the way, if you guys are still with me, do me a favor. For every one person that's watching this stream, listening to this story, do me a favor. Y'all, please hit that thumbs up. What it does is it helps share this stream and let more people know that we're live. So all we ask is just to close the chat, hit that thumb up, help us out, okay? Let's get it.
Well, we are leading the way on more breaking news. Two teenagers are being charged with murdering an infant.
Cincinnati police say Wednesday morning they found an unresponsive baby boy on Sunny Hill Drive. Today, the child died at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. Shakayla Sams and Dante Ferrier, who are both 19 years old, have been charged with the child's death. Police say Sams was the baby's mother. The cause of death has not been released.
5:30 half hour now as two people are facing charges now, accused of murdering a 5-month-old. So good evening to you. I'm Chris Riva. Cincinnati police are telling us now the infant was found unresponsive last week and died at the hospital Monday. Andrea Medina has been following this story. She's live downtown now with the very latest developments. Andrea.
Yeah, Chris, well, according to court documents, the suspects are the baby's parents. They're two 19-year-olds who live at the Villages at Roll Hill. Both were arraigned this morning, and they remain behind bars at the Hamilton County Justice Center. I spoke with a family friend who is shattered of the tragic and unnecessary death of the 5-month-old. This is scene video from December 22nd. That's the day Cincinnati police responded to a report of an unresponsive infant at a home on Sunny Hill Drive in the Villages of Roll Hill. That same day, Cincinnati police arrested two 19-year-olds, Shakayla Sams and Dante Ferrier, on child endangerment charges. 4 days later, police say the infant died at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. The Hamilton County Coroner's Office has identified him as 5-month-old Casey Sams. According to court documents, Sams and Ferrier are the parents of Casey, and they are now accused of murder in connection to his death. The documents don't reveal many details regarding the 5-month-old's injuries, except that it occurred over the past several months.
Casey was my little auntie Bug. He was my auntie TP. I mean, Casey was a great baby. He didn't cause no problems. He was just loving.
Nicole says she is a family friend and knew the victim and knows his mother well. We asked Nicole if she had any idea what led up to Casey's death. She says she's unaware. She's too heartbroken to go on camera, but she does want to express her love for Casey.
He just had these big, gushing, beautiful eyeballs, and just when he smiled, it just made you smile and light it up.
I know there's some people in the chat saying that they're teenagers, but they'll be tried as adults. That's part of what I was saying earlier, and I do agree with you, and I thank you for saying that. They absolutely need to be tried as adults. These people are just not good human beings at all. I think they absolutely 100% need to be tried as adults. They are adults. They're parents. Yes, they absolutely should be tried as adults. But let's keep going.
Oh my God, Casey gonna be truly missed. The little time I did have with him, I grew a nice bond with him.
Now pictures and memories are all she has to remember him by.
He deserved to live a life like everybody else. Now he's gone, and everybody's just sad now.
Sands and Ferrier's bonds were set at $200,000 straight. A grand jury is supposed to hear the case and report the findings by next week. We're live in downtown. Andrea Medina, Fox 90 Now.
We are learning new information tonight about the two 19-year-olds charged with murder for the death of a 5-month-old boy.
Local 12's David Winner is where those teenagers are being held right now. David.
Kyle, they are here at the Hamilton County Justice Center. They've been here since last Wednesday, but they weren't brought before a judge to be charged with murder until this morning.
The bailiff calling Shakayla Sams before the judge this morning, arraigning her for the murder of her 5-month-old baby. The bailiff also calling the baby's father, Dante Ferrier. We got a copy of his rap sheet, and it is impressive. We got a copy of his rap sheet, and it is impressive. Dating back to 2017, Ferrier has been in and out of the system since he was 14 years old, charged with theft, assault, harassment, menacing, breaking and entering. The list goes on and on. Sams has no juvenile record, at least not.
I want y'all to listen at this dude's criminal history. Can we get a hashtag when you date thugs, you date death? Hashtag date thugs, date death. Remember, I'm always trying to teach. Anytime I stop, I'm trying to teach something, okay? Let me rewind this. Let me let y'all hear mama's boyfriend's thugs' long criminal history that they are able to release. The rest of it we don't even know about. I want y'all to hear this again. Listen to this again.
Ferrier. We got a copy of his rap sheet, and it is impressive. Dating back to 2017, Ferrier has been in and out of the system since he was 14 years old, charged with theft, assault, harassment, menacing, breaking and entering. The list goes on and on. Sams has no juvenile record, at least not.
You know, you have a long rap sheet when they say the list goes on, and then they turn around and say, well, we can't actually get the records because they're sealed from his time prior to that. Remember when I told y'all that I said that he's been a terrible person his entire life? There's an example. What else do you think he's going to do in life? He's tailor-made for prison, cheap labor for life. Go ahead and put him in there. Life sentence. There's no reason for him to ever be paroled, to see what life is going to be like in the next 60, 70 years. Let him die in prison.
In Hamilton County. This is where Ferrier lived with Sams and their son in an apartment in the Villages at Roll Hill. We spoke to a neighbor.
Let me pause it right there. Let me tell y'all something. First and foremost, I understand what it's like to try to move out of your parents' house early, working a very mediocre job, trying to pay bills just to keep a roof over your head, to have your own place. It's hard to do, and I had to have a roommate just to get started. Have to throw that out there because we had a very humble beginning. Very humble. It's hard to do that, and I can almost guarantee y'all the only reason that this mother had that apartment that you see on my screen is because of what? What's our other famous hashtag? Hashtag babies for benefits. Do y'all think that a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old normally would have been able to go out and go get an apartment and take care of it on their own? No. The answer is no. You should. Most people are starting to look for a job by that time, or either get into some type of career training or college. Then after they get those programs completed, then go get a job. Or you come out of school, you start working, build up your money, build up your funds, then go get an apartment. Most people out the gate aren't able to just go get an apartment flat out top, especially because of the fact that they do background checks and credit checks. I can guarantee y'all that that fool was not supposed to be in that apartment. I don't know if he has any felonies on his record, but they said he had a long rap sheet and an impressive record. I've never even heard of that, for a person to have a record that long that you call it impressive. That's another level of disrespect. Shout out to the news people, by the way, for calling that impressive. The only reason she was able to obtain this apartment was because of the 2 children she had. At least the one. The one got her in the door.
That baby died yesterday. I was up all night upset. Like, I can't believe 3 doors down. I'm like, damn it, I should have did something. To hear that baby die yesterday, I was up all night upset. Like, I can't believe 3 doors down. I'm like, damn it, I should have did something. To hear that baby die yesterday, I was up all night upset. Like, I can't believe 3 doors down. I'm like, damn it, I should have did something.
I have a suggestion, ma'am. Would you like my suggestion? Well, I'm going to give you my suggestion anyway. You want to know something you could have did? How about before you answer your door, get dressed? The news people that are there to talk to somebody. They want to talk to anybody and everybody. That's their freaking job. They don't have any news unless people come out and talk, right? So that means they would have had to wait on you. You could have took that big ass freaking Bed Bath & Beyond robe off and put a regular shirt on, and then turn around and take that Soul Glow cap freaking Crown Royal bullcrap. What is that on the top of your head, man? Why would you do an interview like that? Why would you have that on your dome? I don't get it. Matter of fact, think about this. What do you do for a living? It's the middle of the day, ma'am. Almost slipped. Why are you in a full ass robe like you about to go to a I don't know, like a lingerie party, I guess? Maybe that's a bit much. It's the middle of the day. Shouldn't you have been just getting off of work or be at work? Maybe you don't have a job.
To hear that baby die yesterday, I was up all night upset. Like, I can't believe 3 doors down. I'm like, damn it, I should have did something.
Shirley Johnson Gilliam says she feels guilty. She had heard the baby in the past.
And I would hear that baby screaming, but I'm like, I hope it's just maybe hungry or something, or want to be held.
But it was apparently...
Look, let me give her some credit. Look, y'all know she's trying to have a good demeanor, and I do like that. She's trying to have a good speaking voice. I can credit her for that. I know I'm getting on to her, and I know some of y'all gonna try to tighten my drawers up. I know. I get it. I can give her credit for that. She's at least trying to present her voice in a good way. But good Lord, man, you don't have to come out looking like who did it and why. You don't have to come out dressed like that. Matter of fact, while we're on the subject talking about what you could have done, if you heard a baby screaming and hollering and heard these fools over there fighting and arguing, the simplest thing you could have did with that big, nasty Barney the dinosaur cap on the top of your head. I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. I'm so sorry about that. I'm sorry. Woo! I'm sorry. That was an accident. That was a Freudian slip. I'm sorry about that. I'm not going to do it again. I'm sorry. Let's rewind. Let's get back to my point. The least you could have done was called 911. Is that not something you could have did? Maybe you could have did a welfare check. Pretty easy to do that. And it's easy to report it anonymously. Yes? Remember, we're talking about teaching moments, teaching opportunities. If you are the type of person, you who is out there listening right now, if you're the type of person that thinks it's okay to put this big old eggplant wig on the top of your head, looking like Hollywood undone, right? And this is you. You can relate to this woman, okay? So I'm telling y'all, if you live in an apartment and you hear this arguing and fighting and hear a baby screaming, then it's probably best to do something as simple as a welfare check. I'm going to just flat out tell y'all, I've done it myself. I've done it myself. I've heard something that was wrong. I saw something and I said something because it's the right thing to do. You're asking what you could have done. Ma'am, I can tell you just by the way that you look, you are old enough that your ass should have known better. You too old to just let that ride out like that. I'm sorry. Like, if you ask me, she's supposed to be an elder. Based on her looks, I could be wrong. Maybe she's like 22, 23. Maybe she's young. But I think she's close at about my age, probably about 40, from the look of it. But us as elders need to know better that we need to report stuff like this. That's just flat out, that's just wrong.
To hear that baby die yesterday, I was up all night upset. Like, I can't believe 3 doors down. I'm like, damn it, I should have did something.
Shirley Johnson Gilliam says she feels guilty. She had heard the baby in the past.
And I would hear that baby screaming, but I'm like, I hope it's just maybe hungry or something, or want to be held.
But it was apparently more than that. Court documents show the investigating detective determined after speaking with medical personnel, the injuries to the baby occurred over the past several months. Police last Wednesday were called to the apartment for an unresponsive child. Paramedics tried to revive the baby on their way to Children's Hospital. Ferrier and Sams were taken into custody and charged with child endangering. But then the coroner's report shows Casey Sams died yesterday, so mom and dad were charged with murder. Their neighbor told us she heard the couple fighting sometimes, but minded her own business. Now she says she wishes she had paid better attention.
That baby ain't had nobody fighting for him. And I heard that baby screaming.
That includes you too. You heard the baby screaming. And what's funny is she's trying to look at this and say, like, nobody came to help this baby. The funny thing about the way that life works is sometimes the advocate needs to be you. Heller, all jokes aside, I know I was being mean, but I'm only being mean because I believe that she was neglectful here. I believe that she made an egregious error to just flat out ignore that. The advocate that these children need are you. If you see something, you say something. Who did you think was going to do it for you?
So now Ferrier and Sams wait to hear whether the prosecutor brings their case before a grand jury and whether the grand jury then indicts them for murder. We're expected to hear that on January 3rd. Reporting live from the Justice Center, David Winter, back to you in the studio.
All right.
Two 19-year-olds have been indicted in the death of a baby.
That's right. Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters has charged Dante Ferrier and Shakayla Sams in the death of 5-month-old Casey Sams and the abuse of a 2-year-old boy.
Andrea Medina has been following the case from the beginning.
This case is deeply disturbing, along with the new graphic details that have surfaced in the baby's death and the abuse of his brother. According to court documents, Sams is the mother of both boys. Sams and Ferrier have been indicted on multiple charges of murder, felonious assault, and child endangering. They have both been locked up at the Hamilton County Justice Center for about 2 weeks now. And according to the prosecutor, he says if they're convicted, they could both face up to life in prison. Cincinnati police initiated an investigation against 19-year-olds Dante Ferrier and Shakayla Sams on December 22, 2021. Police received a 911 call about a domestic violence incident at their home at the Villages of Roll Hill. And this radio traffic reveals some of those moments.
Female ran to the office. Medical has been refused. She's hysterical and crying and not giving any information on the suspect, but advised he's at their home at 2370 Sunny Hill with their 3 children.
Okay, one is for domestic violence. Is one Dante Ferrier.
When officers arrived, they found 5-month-old Casey Sams, who was unresponsive.
I got a baby trying to revive this child.
The baby was taken to Cincinnati Children's Hospital, where he died from his injuries 5 days later on December 27th. According to Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters, Casey died from a traumatic brain injury. Dieters says his other injuries included a dislocated neck, subdural hemorrhage, and a swollen brain. Prosecutors say doctors also found additional evidence of old and new rib fractures, bruising on his head, and scars on his leg. Dieters says in addition to Casey, police also discovered a 2-year-old boy to be severely malnourished with evidence of abuse. The toddler was also taken to the hospital and remains in the ICU. According to court documents, Sams is Casey's mom, while Sams and Ferrier are the parents of the toddler. Documents reveal their charges involve 2 counts of murder, 3 counts of child endangering, and 3 counts of felonious assault. Prosecutor Dieters says the cruelty displayed on the 2 boys is impossible to comprehend. He says, quote, "This was not a case of neglect by parents too young to understand their responsibilities. This was a case of active violence perpetrated on babies by 2 people, the same people who should be protecting them." We reached out to the Hamilton County Jobs and Family Services to ask if the family had any contact with the agency in the past. They declined to comment and referred to us to the prosecutor's office.
Next video.
Ferrier
Learning new details about how 5-month-old Casey Sams died. His parents were indicted today. WCPO 9 News reporter Courtney Francisco has been learning more about the infant's short life, and she joins us live right now just outside the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. Courtney?
That's right. Prosecutor Joe Dieters just announced today that not only did Shakayla Sams and Dante Ferrier kill their 5-month-old baby, but they were also abusing their 2-year-old child. We are not releasing the name of the surviving child or pictures of the children due to privacy concerns, but we want you to know the details we are about to talk about may be disturbing to some people.
Both parents, Shakayla Sams and Dante Ferrier, face life in prison if convicted of this abuse. Both 19 years old, with a 5-month-old and a 2-year-old. Today, Prosecutor Joe Dieters wrote, "The cruelty displayed upon these 2 young children is impossible to comprehend. Being a young parent is no excuse for the kind of abuse these children suffered." December 22nd, police showed up at the family's Villages of Roll Hill apartment. Court documents say the mother told officers Ferrier was punching her in the face and pulling out her hair. We told you then officers found their 5-month-old unresponsive. Today, Dieters revealed that baby had a dislocated neck, a brain bleed, swollen brain, broken ribs. And for the first time, he revealed a 2-year-old was also involved.
So, I'm glad I don't have to retract that. That's why I heard it. Let me back it up. Let me let y'all hear the extent of the injuries again, because that's super important.
Today, Dieters revealed that baby had a dislocated neck, a brain bleed, swollen brain, broken ribs. And for the first time, he revealed a 2-year-old was also involved, malnourished.
Y'all catch that? Y'all catch that? The broken ribs and all of that other stuff, brain bleeding, so I was correct.
And officers found their 5-month-old unresponsive. Today, Dieters revealed that baby had a dislocated neck, a brain bleed, swollen brain, broken ribs. And for the first time, he revealed a 2-year-old was also involved, malnourished with a lacerated pancreas. The grand jury indictment says the children were recklessly tortured. Dieters wrote, quote, "This was a case of active violence perpetrated on babies by 2 people, the same people who should be protecting them." 5 days later, the 5-month-old died. The 2-year-old is still in the ICU 12 days later. JFS told me last week 8 children died in 2021 due to confirmed abuse. It's still working to substantiate 6 other cases. That could bring the total to 14 children killed due to abuse. And 5 of those cases were open at the time of death.
And I am still working to find out if anything could have been done to change the outcome in those cases and in the case of this 5-month-old Casey Sams. JFS is not releasing prior history because they say that is confidential information. I have taken this information to Governor Mike DeWine, and I will reach out to you as soon as I get that information. Reporting live in Cincinnati, Courtney Francisco, WCPO 9.
All right, so of course, with these being teenagers, there's another element that y'all know is definitely going to be involved. Does anybody know what it is? Social media. Social media makes it so easy for you to post your thoughts, your feelings, just post whatever you want. And sometimes people just feel like it's like a private thing, and it's really not. It's something the entire world, investigators, prosecutors, judges, anybody and everybody can see. Like, hey, I can see you. I can see what you posted. Let me show you guys a couple of things. First and foremost, when I see this picture, a lot of things pop in my head. A lot of things pop in my head. First of all, if you ask me, I'm thinking about prom, P-R-O-M, prom. I don't know if that's where they were going here. Maybe that's what they were doing. I don't know. Then I see her pregnant. That's a horrible thing. I mean, she looks very young in the face, but maybe maybe it's just that I'm getting older. Okay. Like she looks like my freaking daughter, like she looks young. And I think about something else. I think about the idea of all of these women, young women and women in general, especially when it comes to the black community, because I can't speak for every other community, but I do know about our plight and the things that we deal with. And when I look at this, another thing that I see is I see this idea about what these young women believe that love and family looks like. They see images of what they believe love and family looks like, and a lot of y'all might have seen this, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever it is that you frequent your time at. And I see a lot of women who get on there and they make these posts about, look, here's how a man's supposed to treat his woman, and here's what I want to be doing with my man, and I want my man to be rubbing my butt while he playing, or while I'm playing video games, or I want my feet to be in my man's lap, and while we eat popcorn and watching Netflix and chilling. Hopefully everybody understands what I'm trying to describe. They see these images and these pictures and these alleged relationships because they don't know if those things are real, but they post them because they're just like, I want that. That's what I want. I want my love to look like that. And they're willing to do whatever it takes to get there to make themselves happy and sacrifice anybody on their way to get there, including their children. Hashtag relationship goals. Yes. Remember I said it. They're willing to sacrifice anybody and everybody on the way to this fake love. It's not real. It's a facade. It's BS. It's not real. I don't really know like what people think love is or what family is supposed to look like. I have an idea about what I think works, but what I can tell you is that what you can't do is you can't just start recklessly procreating, having unprotected sex, and just bringing kids into this world and just thinking that this government that we live in or under, however you want to look at it, is going to protect and provide for you just because you are deemed a female. Just because you are a mother by nature. You got kids, and now I'm going to get such and such and such and such benefits off of the kid. Babies for benefits, right? That's exactly why they continue to... Thank you. Thank you for saying that in the chat. You said preach. Thank you. And sometimes I just think something and I say it. It's stuff that I think about all the time. And I see, and I'm on social media all the time, and I'm thinking like, is that what they think love is? Like, come on. Like that's cool. It's a nice thought. But I think that we need to take care of the basics first. Let's educate for a moment. Basic things first. Be able to take care of your MFing self first. Let me tell you, it is flat out impossible to be able to take care of a child if you cannot take care of yourself. I think it's a horrible thing for us to try to have children outside of wedlock, which is a social construct, but I think it works. I think it's a horrible thing for us to have baby mama, baby daddy, kids over here, dad's over there, mom's over here, and just the kids are just caught in this whirlwind of just what WTF? Like what are we supposed to do? I'm not saying that marriage is for anybody and everybody, but what I am saying is if you're going to have children, the nuclear family, in my humble opinion, is the way to go about doing it. We need to do it together, and we need to do it with a purpose. If you can't take care of yourself, you for damn sure can't take care of kids. Take care of yourself first. Get your affairs in order first. The faster you get your affairs in order, the better you'll be able to take care of a kid. Like I said earlier, have some credit, have a job, have a plan, have some stability, not have a criminal record. I'm going to tell you one of the coldest things about this story is people might think that I'm wrong for calling this fool a thug when he has a criminal record longer than the Nile River. So long that they actually said that it was impressive. The news actually clowned him and said that it was impressive. That's who you chose to produce a child by, ma'am. I think it should be criminal for you to have somebody with that long of a criminal history and not prove themselves to be a law-abiding citizen and have kids by them. That should be an arrestable, jailable, prisonable, if that's even a word, offense in itself. That's a crime to the kids. And that's not fair. Let's go a little bit deeper because I got a lot more to say. Got like Mr. T said, I got a lot of more to go. I got a lot of more for you. Y'all ready for this? Oh, social media is going to be the death of these dummies. Yes, this is the mother, and I'm thankful for whoever captured this screenshot. Let me crop it a little bit. I'm going to make it bigger for you. And I want to show y'all the mentality of this alleged mother. Mentality. That's where we get messed up in this world. Mentality. Our mentality is messed up. Take a look at this. Here's a post that Shakayla Sams, the mother, shared from somebody named Khadijah Brown. And I hate, and let me be honest with y'all, I hate seeing people always sharing somebody else's stuff who are always sharing somebody else's stuff, right? I hate seeing people share stuff that somebody else shared. Like when the thing come up on Facebook, I'm always sharing my own stuff, my own quotes, like stuff that I'm like, wow, I posted that back in 2012. I'm going to share my own post. But from the looks of it, it looks like Khadijah Brown is a young black woman, like this mother is a young black woman, and she shared this quote, and it says, being a mom, not even hard. What she means to say is being a mom is not even hard. It's the crying for me. Like, shut the F up. Ignorance on full display. I could not have said it any better. Thank you for that. How many of y'all agree with that? We have somebody in the chat who said, ignorance is on full display with no shame, and I 100% agree with that. What type of a wholesome individual, let alone a mother, would post something like that and think it was funny, think it was cute? You can relate to that. Why share it? Why post it? Why think it? Matter of fact, even more importantly, why on God's green earth would you have kids then? If you like being on your back all the time with your legs in the air, do that. Please stop having kids. There is nothing wrong with liking sex. But there is something wrong with producing kids because you like sex and then neglecting your MFing kids. Not okay, not cool, and yes, I think she deserves life in prison. Stupid ass people. Let me show you something else. Do I have another screenshot? I know that one was the most prevalent one. I think I have one. Yep, I damn sure did. Lord bless me tonight, because I'm going to mess around and get flagged, because I'm going to say something that's going to get me flagged tonight. I just have a feeling. So I apologize in advance, you guys. Again, from the mother. If you could even call her that. She's just a mother by default, a mother by nature. And wrote something that nobody liked in more than a damn. All year long, that post has been sitting there and everybody ignored it. Maybe, I guess some people left some comments, but it looked like it was only one heart there. Is it bad to start work 2 weeks after giving birth? I don't know about any of you guys. I see so much wrong with that post. So much. First and foremost, it's a problem that you would talk about getting a job while being pregnant, and then after you had a kid, then get a job. Should have had a job prior. Then that means you would have been taking, what is that? The maternity leave? If you had a job, right? But the fact that you don't know anything about being a mother or a woman, I think is egregious. Ask a doctor, thank you. This baby, that to me lets me know that this baby never stood a chance. If you even have to ask. I'm not saying you should know everything, but the fact that you would post something like this shows that you are not ready to be a mother. FMLA, maternity, whatever the proper term for it is, I did want to point that out. And I just think that gives us a glimpse as to what this baby and these children was subjected to. This is a beautiful baby. And let me say this, and I know this is going to probably make me into a really, really bad guy. Because I was asking myself, not only is he a thug, he's young and stupid. I also wondered something else. Because I heard he was beating on her too. I looked at this picture, and I could be totally wrong. Because what do I know about judging pictures and babies? But I looked at this and I said, the kid looks very much like his mom. Maybe it's a little early, but not so much like the dad. I know that there is a statistic out there that shows that in certain places, a lot of mothers go and get a DNA test, and the man that they test the first time is wrong a lot of the time, which lets me know they don't know anything about their body. They don't know anything about their gestation. They don't know anything about when they're sleeping with somebody unprotected. I'm not saying that's the case here. Maybe they already got a DNA test. Maybe they 100% know. I'm just throwing it out there that could be a possibility. I wouldn't be surprised, but not that it's going to make a difference. I still think they all need life in prison for what they put those children through. Both children, not just one. They murdered one. They murdered the smallest, the most innocent, the most defenseless. He couldn't speak for himself. He couldn't defend himself. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Real talk. God made that baby very, very strong. Very strong. Even after the brain bleeding, even after the broken neck, even after the broken ribs, scarring and bruising, this baby made it to the hospital and he survived for a few days. He was strong. His body took all that it could and it couldn't survive. I think that is a testament. In my opinion, I don't know about my religious people out there. I think that's a testament to how good God is. That he could make something so small but so strong. That baby just didn't stand a chance up against the devil. These two devils, these two demons. And there was nobody there to protect this kid. The neighbor couldn't even make a simple phone call. The neighbor didn't feel like that baby's life was worth a phone call to do a welfare check. Get that baby some help a few days earlier, few weeks earlier, few months earlier. Maybe we have a survival story. Beautiful little baby. Beautiful little baby. And I hope they charge him as adults because they absolutely deserve it, especially the dude having that long of a rap sheet. It's just flat out ridiculous. Beautiful baby, young Prince. Young Casey, R.I.P. And I do appreciate you guys listening with an open mind as well as an open heart to this story. Thank you.